Okay, now, a lot of people are saying the GOP didn't get anything out of this deal. But you are wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You're wrong.
Yep.
You are wrong.
Dead wrong.
Dead wrong. For instance, and then there is,
well, I'll tell you what there is.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Mitch McConnell got
The
$2 billion
dam project.
Yeah. I have been saying let's put the whole thing on the line for Mitch McConnell's reelection the whole time. I've been saying if we could just get a bribe for the state of Kentucky of $2 billion, I'd be set. I would turn my face.
It's a little over $2 billion.
It's a little over $2 billion? How much is it?
It's a 2.125 or 2.125 billion.
Okay.
Which is, when that 0.125, sure, it's $125 million. Sure it is. Sure, it's 120. It's a 9-figure sum, but let's just round it off completely.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got the. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Mitch McConnell got the $2 billion dam, which we've all been wanting. Now, I want you to know.
How long have we talked about the $2 billion dam project
in
Kentucky?
You got it. Yeah. Now you know what Mitch is saying here is, I didn't have anything to do with that.
Nothing.
You know what? Damn him. He didn't. Damn him.
Oh, he did. You did it with the dam. That's what we're talking about.
Damn him. Yeah. You know what? He didn't. It was Lamar Alexander, and that's how worthless Mitch McConnell is. He couldn't even get a works project done for his own state. He had to leave it to Lamar Alexander, and Lamar Alexander didn't even really do it. You know who really did it?
Dianne Feinstein.
Now, Dianne is the one in California who, smelt over people. Let the farmers just let their the most fertile farmland in the country, let it all go to a dust bowl because we can't change the environment. We can't hurt the environment. We can't do that. Of course, Dianne Feinstein is the one who said, you know what we'd have to do? We have to build a giant dam. Of course she's the one who did that. There was no deal going on here. Mitch McConnell didn't do anything like... Mitch McConnell, come on. It was Tennessee. It was Lamar Alexander.
But Mitch McConnell, wrote the bill, so obviously you'd think that maybe he had a hand.
No, it was some underling that did that behind his back.
As a special surprise for him.
He did not write in a $2 billion bribe for the citizens of Kentucky saying, elect me because look what I can do. He did not do that.
So he didn't. He didn't.
He didn't
read
work
it
behind the scenes. He didn't work behind the scenes on this. He didn't have anything to do with it. He was right there with the American people on, I want everybody. I don't want just special interests. I want everybody to have the right deal. I want everybody to not have to pay for fines or have their insurance so far out of whack that they won't be able to keep their doors open for their businesses. No.
But he did already request funds for this exact same project just a couple of years ago.
And
$100 million.
That's when we thought we had a lot of money. Now, he knows. So when people say we didn't get anything out of this, I remember the $2 billion dam. My gosh. And you know what's so funny? Do you remember the show Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? You remember that? And Mr. Smith was down there on the floor. And remember how everybody said, my gosh, watching Ted Cruz is just like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And what was he fighting? He was fighting the guys who were working behind the scenes on a dam project.
Yeah. He's going to take Boy Scout land or something?
What is that? They're going to take the Boy Scout land from him on a dam project.
So you're saying Mr. Smith was the bad guy in retrospect? We now realize.
Well, now we realize that the guy who did take the dam, okay, we know two things. What? One, Frank Capra stole this storyline from today. So
torn from today's
headlines.
Or back then it would have been tomorrow's
headlines. He plagiarized this whole thing. Two, he was so ridiculous he actually thinks Mr. Smith wins. You know, I mean, he thinks, oh, look at America and idealistic and everything else. When, no, the senator who is the corrupt one isn't thrown out at the end. He wins the dam for his people. And Mr. Smith is discredited. You see, that's what happens.
And the Boy Scouts are bulldozed in the dam project.
Well, no. The Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts are not there anymore because they're in San Francisco having an open-minded discussion about homosexuality.
Okay.
So, that's the way Mr. Smith Goes to Washington really ends. I feel better. Or maybe not. Let's look at who actually voted no. All Texas Republicans voted no. Really? Even John Cornyn. Oh, it's good of him to take a stand when it counts, right? People who work behind the scenes to discredit and destroy, and then when they know it's not going to pass anyway, then they jump on the bandwagon. No, that seems like the new version of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington to me. Too bad we're on to him. Pete Sessions. He even said no.
18. A whopping 18 senators. It was 81-18.
Mike Crapo
from Idaho.
John Cornyn. Tom, do we like Mike Crapo?
Yeah, Crapo's good. He's good. Both Idaho senators are pretty good.
Haven't we had Mike on before?
Risch. So.
We had who?
Okay. Yeah, Risch.
Yeah.
James Risch.
Tom Coburn, Ted Cruz, Mike Enzi, Chuck Grassley, Dean Heller, Ron Johnson, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, James Risch, Pat Roberts, Marco Rubio. Oh, did Marco find it in himself to do this too? Oh, look at him. Isn't that
has been pretty good on this stuff.
He's
I will say.
he pretty
has.
solid on this.
He has.
He
Of
has.
course. No, he has.
Yeah,
I know you're going to say you're claiming,
No, and I'm glad because now we have this behind us so he can go back to work on immigration reform.
Right. Again, bad
So
on that.
I think
but he's
that's
been good on
bad
this.
on that one.
Bad on that,
but
good on-
just bad on that one. He's great on everything else.
I say he's
But
been good on many
really-
things and bad on a few. Yes.
Yeah, bad on a few.
And immigration's
one of
a big one.
And one of them is the destruction of the United States of America as we know it. But he's only bad on that one. Everything else he's
Just
good on.
pointing out
All right.
the facts.
Then we have Tim Scott. He said
He's great.
no. Jeff Sessions.
By the way, Tim Scott, apparently not a black senator. Just so you guys know, he's
What do you
not
mean?
an African American senator. Well,
What do you mean? He's
he's
African American.
No, the New York Times was very excited about Cory Booker's win. And finally, we have a senator who's African American back in the Senate.
No,
So-
they did not say that.
Yeah, well, there were reporters who's like, it's good to see that we finally have an African American back in the Senate. Tim
what about
Scott
the
was
guy?
like, I think I'm here. This is. I'm looking in the mirror right now. There seems to be some
And
characteristics.
it's such a groundbreaking thing, too. It's such a groundbreaking thing from New Jersey, isn't it? Unlike, like it's so easy, historically speaking, for Tim Scott to come from South Carolina to be the senator. Then we have Richard Shelby, Pat Toomey, and David Vitter.
A lot of good names in there.
There are a lot of good names in there. A lot of good names in there.
You'll notice Orrin Hatch from Utah.
No, not Orrin Hatch.
Not there. Not
Orrin
there.
Hatch wasn't there.
No, isn't that surprising?
Orrin
Not there.
Hatch.
Orrin Hatch voted for it.
Well, I bet it'll be at the ribbon cutting of that new dam.
I would not doubt that.
I hope so. It's important to Utah for Kentucky to get that dam.
It is.
You
It's
know,
important to
it
me.
is.
You know what? Let me tell you something. It is important to all 310 employees here of Mercury that you don't get, I'm going to have to change our health care and we're going to have to do all these things and you're going to feel extreme pain on your health care. And I actually mean that literally. At some point when you go to the hospital because of shortages, you'll feel extreme pain. But it is, I think I speak for the entire company here when I say we're all cool with that. If Kentucky gets a dam.
Oh, yeah. You got to pump that water.
And if I may go even further, it's really more about Mitch McConnell's reelection than the dam.
That's more
I don't even
important
care.
to us.
I don't even care if that thing is even built, really. I just want Mitch McConnell to be able to go out and say, hey, there are jobs in Kentucky.
Yeah. I'd like all $2 billion, in fact, to go directly to his reelection campaign.
Oh, you know what?
That'd be great.
Why can't we just do that?
Why can't we just do that?
Why don't we do that? I think actually it kind of did. Okay, in
4.3 million people in
how many?
4.3 million people in Kentucky. What if we just divided the $2 billion up and just gave it to them? Mm-hmm. You know, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You know, another thing that I'm glad we didn't get, one thing I'm glad we didn't hold out for, is that all of the people in Congress have to have it. I'm glad we didn't do that. Because why should they live under the laws that we do? Why should the people who said, hey, guys, you're going to have to read it before, or you're going to have to pass it before you read it. We're just going to have to trust us on this. It's so bad that they don't even want it. I'm glad that we have to live with it and they don't.
I like the fact that the guy whose name comes before care doesn't have to participate in it.
I'm
That's
glad
my
we didn't
favorite
hold on.
part.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to have that because I wouldn't want him to suffer.
No.
I wouldn't want him to suffer.
No, why should he be punished by the things he does?